Being a speaker is wonderful. For 30 minutes or 60 minutes, you get to do that wonderful thing you love.
One of the first things you learn in journalism school is you show your audience, you don't tell them. That it's not our job as a journalist to tell our audience how to feel about a person, a politician, no matter how repulsive. We can't tell them.
Favorite thing to do is actually audio record.
What is it that you do to prepare for a talk?
There's a lot of different elements that come into preparing. I think you have to prepare your mind, first of all. You have to be in the right headspace. And for me, that means trying to remember that I show up in service of my audience, that my job is to deliver as much value. It's not about how I look or, what's on my slides, but really what am I doing to act in service of my audience. So staying in that headspace, not getting distracted, is very important for me. You've got to prepare your body physically, right? You have to make sure that you're hydrating, getting enough sleep, really that you're ready to go up there and be a performer, which is what you are. And obviously you have to prepare by knowing your material. So for me, that's a lot of rehearsal. It's going through the slides. My favorite thing to do is actually audio record myself going through my slides. So, in the hotel room or wherever else, and then listening to that audio back, because I know that that's one way that I really understand material. So listening back to my own audio helps me understand, maybe I should pause for a little bit longer there, or I seem to be tripping over this word. Maybe there's a different word I could use that would flow better. I think if you are going to be speaking, if it's part of your career, you have to put time into it. If you were an actor, you wouldn't just read the script once and then go out on stage opening night. If you were an athlete, you'd be preparing for a marathon. It's preparation is part of the game.
You have a very confident attitude when you're on stage. You're strong. Are you nervous before you go on?
I don't really get nervous anymore, which is good. But to be fair, I've been doing this, 30 to 60 gigs a year for several years now. So it's at bats. You stop getting nervous. I think a big part of it too is everything that you think is going to go wrong will go wrong at some point.
Yeah.
And when you survive that, it's no longer something to be afraid of. So I've had the projector go down, I've had the microphone stop working, I've had someone heckle me, so I don't have to worry about those things anymore. I know that if it happens, you survive.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it also comes from practicing and rehearsing with intention.
There's a lot of young speakers. What would you advise them to do?
I think the biggest thing is you really have to know your why. You have to understand your message, because I think, like many things in life, being a celebrity, being a singer, anything, you like the idea of it, but oftentimes you don't have that core thing that's going to keep you going, because the reality is being a speaker is wonderful. For 30 minutes or 60 minutes, you get to do that wonderful thing you love. But the rest of the time, you're preparing, you're editing your PowerPoint, you're pitching yourself for conferences, you're signing contracts, all of that is much less glamorous. So if you can connect to that reason, if you really understand your message and your reason for getting on that stage, that's gonna push you through past the folks who are just out there for the 30 minutes of glory.
Thank you for watching. Remember, if you want more, subscribe to the newsletter, to the videos, and share with your friends.